And now, live from the studios of WHUC, this is Real Talk, where we get you something to talk about.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Real Talk. Joining us today is someone who needs no introduction, our beloved Vice President, Mrs. Sherry Bellmon. Ms. Bellmon has had a very colorful career. She's been with the college since November 2004 and served in many roles in the college, including Career and Technical Education Director, Dean of Students in Career and Technical Education, Associate Vice President of Career and Technical Education, and of course, Vice President of Instruction in Career and Technical Education. Well, Ms. Bellmon, with your Hines tenure coming to an end, how does it feel leaving it behind after all these years?
Well, I can truly say that it's been a blessing to be able to serve here at Hines Community College. So I'm having celebrations all the time. It's just joy, and that joy is just coming out at this time. Yes, ma'am.
Well, with your extended tenure here, and, you know, in the ranking campuses, you've been here pre-pandemic and post. So what would you say is the biggest change during your time here?
I would say the students that we serve and the community that we serve. So as an institution, we've had to adapt to change and to the needs of the economy as well as to the needs of our students to make sure that as our students coming in, we're giving them the holistic experience. And so that was whether we were Zooming or we were in person as far as offering those instructional classes for our students.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel that even with the Zoom and all these different changes that you're having to make on the fly, that the campus is fully recovered from that time period? Because a lot of campuses, I feel, have struggled with that comeback.
Well, we haven't fully come back. You know, everybody was talking about conform to the new. Well, there is no new. We're creating the new. And so what we've had to do is there are different things that we've changed, opportunities we're making for the students. But the biggest thing is that we're trying to let our students know that our doors are open and we've saved a seat for you, so we need you to come on back in.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we're having a great time talking to Vice President Bellmon. We'll be right back after this break.
If you can't trust any other college news source, trust WHUC. They are the team you can trust with the latest Hines news. From the state fair,
numerous antique vehicles,
the annual homecoming specials,
very interesting and refreshing.
and more. While others chit-chat, we bring you the latest to what's happening across and around the Hines County area.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for joining us on WHUC
Trust Hines'
News
very own
7
WHUC News 7.
Welcome back to Real Talk. So, Vice President Bellmon, Dean Towns is set to step in as the new Vice President. What can you tell us about him and your confidence in him to continue what you've been doing so well?
First of all, I believe he's an idealist. He very much so wants to expand the opportunities for our students. Yes, he may be a little bit younger than me. You know, I'm a little more seasoned, but at the same time, he's taking advantage of those opportunities to make sure, number one, we're staying in compliance, we're doing what we're supposed to do, but listening to the voice of our students as well as the industry that they're trying to go to, or if they're trying to transfer on to the higher institutions. Yes,
ma'am. Well, one thing that we have noticed is that your faith is a large part of your leadership here at the college. With your frequent quote of Psalms 118, verse 24, for those unfamiliar, could you tell us that verse?
This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it.
Yes, ma'am. So what would you say is your reasoning of choosing that scripture, and how important would you say it is for faith in students and faculty?
Well, I can say this, regardless of what I do or where I am, I'm working for the Lord. And so as I come onto the campus or wherever I go each and every day, I'm making sure that I'm fulfilling his purpose for what I'm supposed to do here on this earth. And it only comes through faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, because that's where it all comes from, the good Lord. So I'm strong with my faith, and I'm glad that you all here accepted the fact that I have that faith and believe that we're going to all winners, because, hey, if you're attached to me, you are going to win.
Yes, ma'am. We're having an amazing time. We really appreciate your time so far. We'll be right back after this break.
Are you ready to join the Welding and Cutting Technology Department at Hines Community College, Utica campus? The Hines Utica Welding Program trains students to be proficient in a number of welding techniques. In the welding program at Hines Utica, students prepare for entry-level employment in the field of welding and cutting. The program highlights field and shop safety, MIG welding, TIG welding, flux cord welding, and shield metal welding skills, basic blueprint reading, and more. The welder program also provides students with the time and space necessary to develop their skills in order to gain entry-level employment in the welding field. So don't delay. Come to Heinz Utica today and begin your career in welding.
Welcome back to Real Talk. So, Vice President Bellmon, what would you say are your most cherished memories here at Heinz Utica?
Wow. Utica campus specifically, or my 20 years here at Heinz?
Okay, we're going to go with the Heinz, with 20 years at Heinz.
Hey, life happened here. I mean, I could say from my children growing up, you know, on the Rankin campus, I can say that there was a Weebot, so I could be at work and my children could be occupied while I was working. You know, so the investing in time and just being able to give back, you know, as far as my children and them coming up through the ranks. But then I'll take it up to the Utica campus. Utica was like coming back home because my mom went here, my dad pastored in this community. So the highlight for me was to be able to give back to where my parents had actually been rooted and grounded.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm sure everyone is wondering, what's next for you?
Well, if you ask Mr. Bellmon, I'm going to be a full-time coach's wife, you know. But what I looked at, I'll be able to inhale the past, but exhale the future. So there's so much out there more for me to do. I'm just stopping here in this career, but there's lots of opportunity out there for me, and I'm looking forward to it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we do wish you good luck. Do you have any final words to share with your Heinz family?
I love you all. Genuinely, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve and pour into you just what God has blessed me with. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say that we really appreciate the time that you've given us and opportunities and the people that you've touched in your career. We would like to thank you for joining us on another episode of Real Talk. I'm your host, Christopher Farrish. We've had Vice President Sherry Bellmon. Thank you for joining us.